Sports Mtaani, tunawasuka maneno michezo from the eye of the people. Yes, Henry back at it again with another show. Today we are talking about soccer, sports Mtaani. Remember we said on this channel we highlight anything sports that's happening in the continent, and we showcase and try to explain to you the scenarios that surrounds all this information that we're giving. So today we're talking about soccer and we are headed to Algeria. Yes. So there's a story that is doing the rounds that Algeria is threatening to walk out of the Confederation of African Football to join the Asian Football Confederation. Wow, I saw that story and I felt it's interesting and it's something that it's worth talking about. I did my background check, and to a certain extent the Algerian Football Federation has dismissed this story to be far-fetched or a rumor. But regardless, at the end of the day, we need to talk about it, because where there's smoke, they say there's fire. So who's Algeria? So Algeria, as a national soccer association, has been a member of the Confederation of African Football since 1962. So we all know that CAF is one of the 6 affiliates or regional affiliates of FIFA that are mandated to oversee the running of soccer in the different regions of the world. Also, other than CAF, we know we have the Asian Football Confederation. We know we have the CONCAFA, which is the Confederation of North and Central America and Caribbean Association of Football. We know we have the Southern American Football Federation, that's the CONMEBOL. We also know we have the Oceanic Football Federation, where Australia, New Zealand, those countries come from. And lastly, we know the famous UEFA. So CAF has mandated these regional blocks to be the overseer of its mandate in each and every continent. So we know we have 6 continents, and those are regional blocks that are affiliated to FIFA. So each country is a member. And for you to be a member of FIFA, you have to be part and parcel of one of these federations. So we also know that some of the benefits that come with this is that for you to play any international soccer match that is organized by FIFA, that is the regional confederation tournaments such as the AFCON, the Gold Cup in the US or in America, or UEFA, or any international friendly that are sanctioned with FIFA, you have to be an affiliate or a member association to FIFA through these confederations. FIFA also supports these associations by, remember, for you to be eligible for financial assistance or logistics, you have to be also a member of these organizations. So why is this questions important, or why is this important today, the issue of Algeria? So we want to find out by asking ourselves through pertinent questions. The first question is, why does Algeria want to walk away from CAF? And subject to that, we want to understand, why have they chosen not to go to the European to UEFA, European Football Federation, or CONCAFA, but they've decided just to go to the Asian Football Federation? That is something that we're gonna discuss and highlight and find out the reason why they've chosen to that. And who's Algeria? In the world of soccer, when you look at it globally, it's also important to understand who's Algeria, and that would give you a picture of why they're making this move. And lastly, also the last question that we should ask ourselves is the legitimacy. Can they be able to do this? or if they can do it, how are they gonna do it? So those are three different things that on a scope we need to understand so that it can put this matter to bed. So let's start by who's Algeria? Who's Algeria? Do you know Algeria as a national soccer team? Most of you remember Algeria as the 2019 AFCON or African Cup of Nations champions. They beat Senegal in the finals that was played in Cairo. Remember, they were in the same group as Kenya, Tanzania, and Senegal. Yeah, so they ended up qualifying in the group, them and Senegal. That finally they met in the final and they won in 2019. But who is Algeria? That's the question. So remember, initially I told you that they've been a member of the Confederation of African Football since 1962, yes. So Algeria is one of the founding members of the Confederation. They're currently ranked number 43 in the world of soccer and 7th in Africa. That is according to the latest FIFA rankings. And we know how the FIFA rankings are done. You understand that? So there's a matrix that is based on points. Depends on the match you've played, the team you're playing, the continent you're coming from. So those are multiplied to give you certain points that puts you on the FIFA ranking. So Algeria, as we say, they are ranked 43rd in the world. But remember, the dispute we're about to talk about involves Morocco. So it's equally important to know who Morocco is. So Morocco is a neighbor to Algeria. They're the number 1 ranked African team in the continent. Algeria has won the African Cup of Nations twice. So one, they were host in the 1990 and they won the tournament, and like I said before, they won in 2019 in Egypt. So they've won it twice. They've qualified for the World Cup 4 times in their history, or in the history of the World Cup. They've qualified 4 times: in 1982, in 1986, in 2010, and in 2014. So amongst the 53 African playing nations or affiliates of FIFA, Algeria has represented Africa 4 times to the World Cup. That's important because there are only a few number of teams that have represented Africa or qualified for the World Cup from Africa. So in a scope, that is who Algeria is. Yeah. So the next question is, why does Algeria want to walk away from the Confederation of African Football? The bone of contention is an issue regarding the jersey of a particular team. So in April of this year, there's a Morocco team called Renascence Berkane. They were grouped to play with USM Alger in a CAF Champions League Confederation Cup match. This match was supposed to be played in the capital of Algeria. So what happened is, like, when they flew in for this game, the team came in, but the team playing kits were confiscated by the immigration officials at the airport. And the claim was, the reason why this was done was that the jersey has a print of a disputed piece of land that is disputed between Algeria and Morocco. We know Western Sahara is a disputed region that borders the two countries. It's administratively currently controlled by Morocco, but Algeria has kept on saying that this is part and parcel of the jurisdiction. So it's a saga that went on. Remember, the team arrived like on a Friday. The match was to be played on a Sunday. So it was adjudicated. The Algerian Football Federation petitioned the Confederation of African Football to have this matter brought to rest. So on a Saturday to the match, CAF had a meeting and said no. For them, they believe that this team has played using this jersey from the beginning of the tournament, so there's no logic to say that they cannot use those jerseys for that game. And also, Renaissance Berkane insisted that they cannot use any other jersey apart from this. Because I remember during this scenario, the Algerian Football Federation or Algerian government agreed to purchase new jerseys for Berkane, but the team said no, we cannot use any other jerseys other than this. So that is the bone of contention. It brought a diplomatic dispute that so the ambassador of Algeria to Morocco recalled, and this is the bone of contention where I believe that has arose the interest or the intent of Algeria to want to pull out of CAF. If I give a scenario with my motherland Kenya, it's like saying that probably Gor Mahia or FC or Viper from Uganda or KCC has an imprint of the disputed Migingo Island on its football jersey. So they fly in from either country, either Kenyans going to Gor Mahia, going to Uganda, or Viper or KCC coming into Kenya with that imprint in their jerseys. So I don't know how it would translate, but that's the best scenario I can give. Is it something that you think should be disputed? So this game ended up not being played, and the match was awarded to Berkane because of that, and that's what the bone of contention. The last thing we need to discuss is, can Algeria walk out? The threat has been made. It's in the public domain, but question is, can they be able to walk out? Is it something that's possible? Yeah, for me, I say yes. Looking at history, there's a precedence that indicates they are capable of doing this. Remember, this is an association. CAF, as an association, it's a group or union of people or entities that come together with a common interest. You're not obligated to be or not to be in this, and Algeria in this case is not obligated to be a member of CAF. Yeah, because it's a group of the willing. So if at all they believe their interest is not being looked at, they have a right to pull out and join an association of their interest. So that's the most important thing. Then also, we know in history there's been precedents of such an issue. Remember, Israel is in Asia, but they are a member of UEFA. The scenario might be different on why Israel is there, because we know the reasons that made Israel be part of the European Soccer Union. And if you go by history, you understand that Israel was kicked out because the countries, South Korea and I believe the Republic of, I think, Saudi Arabia, refused to play with them, and Kuwait filed a petition, I believe in 1970 something, to kick out Israel from the Asian Football Confederation. Nobody wanted to play with Israel, so Israel justifiably had to get a platform where they can showcase their soccer. So they applied and they were accepted by UEFA. But also there's Australia that in 2005 applied to be part of the Asian Football Confederation, and they were accepted to be part of that. The scenario is different from what Algeria is putting on the table, and their contention was the qualifiers to the World Cup. Remember, there was a law that in the Confederation, while qualifying for the World Cup, a team from Europe that was already eliminated in the qualifiers from the European bloc was to play a knockout with a team from Oceania to qualify for the World Cup. So Australia felt that was not fair competition, because European teams were very strong. So they felt, no, why not align ourselves with our peers in Asia so that we can get a fair chance of competing, not in a knockout stage that you play one match and you're out. So, but Algeria's scenario, remember, it's a disputed interest between them and Morocco. And for you to be able to apply to be a member of an association or any other association, remember first you'll make your application, which Algeria is subject to do that. We know they're part of the Arab League, so there's a convergence of interest when it comes to probably them being in the Asian Football Confederation. So that has to be accepted initially by the Asian Football Confederation, which I believe if they do, there wouldn't be a lot of headache or hindrance to them being accepted. Once that is done, FIFA has to ratify. And this is where the problem might come, because remember, FIFA is the world governing body for soccer. And for you to move from one confederation to another, there has to be a justifiable reason for them to be able to accept, to avoid any kind of animosity between the two confederations. In this case, if CAF, it's between CAF and Asian Football Federation. If FIFA would allow such kind of a thing to happen in a matter that has been ruled by CAF, yeah, to favor Morocco because of a disputed jersey or regional conflict, that would really impact the world of soccer. So in this scenario, I don't think FIFA would entertain or allow such a move for Algeria to move from one federation or confederation to the other. That would be the bone of contention, because FIFA has to sit, the FIFA committee has to sit and discuss, look at the scenario and the justification of this, which I think in this scenario it's political, and FIFA wouldn't want to get into such a scenario. This is Henry. I don't know what you think about this. I just thought this is something worth talking about, and as a sports person, we said in this channel, we talk about anything sports that's happening in the mother continent. If you're watching for the first time, once again, kindly subscribe, like and share. We're on a road to 2,000 subscribers. Peace. See you in the next one.